Welcome here today to the Bank of America Roval 400 full race live stream, and welcome for those of you that are just tuning in and or will tune in during the course of this race, because it is going to be a good one. The final race of the round of 16. We got a lot of drivers on the bubble in the playoffs coming into this race today. No seemingly must-win scenarios, at least to start the race, but we are going to have a great show for you here today. So we qualified 13th. It looks like we're going to be starting 12th because we got a driver going to the rear. So being on the outside on this initial start could definitely be interesting. Road courses, as usual, they're tough to pass on. We did not qualify with our best effort at all. We couldn't get a good lap in. That backstretch chicane was not our best friend when we raced the full Xfinity race here last. So we'll see how this Cup Series race will go. We'll hop right in. We've got Eric Jones on the pole for today's race. Martin Truex Jr. starting second on the outside pole. Denny Hamlin will start at the rear. So will William Byron and Ryan Preece as well. So again, from the 12th spot, we're already locked into the next round of the playoffs in the round of 12. We won the first two races at Las Vegas and Richmond, and the Roval is underway. 25 laps in the opening stage of the race. Everybody trying to get the cars slowed up in time. On the outside, 3 wide into the Tums Heartburn turn, and now into the infield portion of the racetrack. Very, very narrow part of the track. This entire track, for the most part, is pretty narrow, as it's all about just trying to get through the start unscathed. 3 wide now, coming out of turn number 4. And Chase Elliott gives us the bumper as we get into the side of the 40 of McMurray right after that. Gonna send it into this next corner to try and make a 3 wide pass. A little contact with Kyle Busch, but we are able to get around him nevertheless, as well as Clint Bowyer. So up to 6th on the opening lap of the race. Oh, a little tight there. Had to check up out of the gas, and Bowyer slams into the side of us now. So you got to wind the car down to get through the chicane on the backstretch. Bowyer bullying us from behind. We're able to get through it. Bowyer taking a peek going into the front stretch chicane. Lap 1 in the books here in the Charlotte Roval. It's going to be tough to win this opening stage of the race, just given the track position with qualifying 13th. It wasn't our best effort. Now we try to peek to the inside here on Kurt Busch. Can we pass him for position? Bowyer still hanging around. He's probably got a fast car. He's not going away. We're going to get right on by Kurt Busch. Oh, and now Kurt gives us a little bump. A lot of drivers racing aggressively, looking for every point necessary, just in case they can't get the victory here today. Now we're trying to run on Kevin Harvick. A little bump. We're going to move on past for 4th. Matt DiBenedetto up to 3rd already. 20 points back coming into this race for DiBenedetto on the cut line, and he's got a few guys in between him. But if he can have a strong showing today, maybe he can still point his way in. He's got a couple affiliated teammates ahead of him. Eric Jones in 1st and Truex in 2nd. Eric Jones just pulling away with the lead here, and Truex for that matter as well, as we just try to run everybody down. We just got to make sure we do not miss the chicanes today over the course of this race, and I think we can do all right. We are closing in on DiBenedetto through the infield portion of the racetrack. Get a little loose there. Car sliding around quite a bit. We lost a little bit of ground now. Harvick's still right behind us for the most part, though, but we definitely lost ground to Benedetto on the last couple turns there before we got back onto the oval surface. But again, we just got to make sure we do not miss the chicanes. These curbs are so violent here, especially on the backstretch. Did not have great qualifying laps that set me up for this one. So we tried to get the car woed. Oh, come on. I don't know how that's a penalty. You've got to be. Well, I'm not going to count that as a legitimate penalty against us. I don't know why it said we missed it. But nevertheless, that's going to send us back to 10th, and that's going to hurt our shots of trying to win this stage. Holden, thanks for joining. Not many laps in, only on lap 4. Trying to get back around Chase Elliott. I'm definitely faster than a couple of these guys ahead of us, but again, we missed. Well, we didn't actually miss the front stretch chicane. You can't miss it because of the wall there, but I'm not entirely sure why it said we missed it. It must have been like a glitch in the game or something. Having a very tough time on the backstretch trying to get the car woed up. We got through it all right there. But we're definitely going to be all over the place over the course of this race today. Oh man, loose again. Chris Buescher going to move up to 9th. I think he's currently the highest running non-playoff driver. Desperate need to try and run quick laps. Could seemingly make me overrun a corner at any moment in time. We just got to run our own race in this first stage. Got to set us up for a bigger picture here. Leah Z Mutter, how's it going? Oh, that was a big hop off the curb. I didn't think I was going to be able to correct it in time. We still kind of beat Chris Buescher back to the gas, too, as we're able to pull him slightly off the backstretch chicane. But we are kind of losing ground now to Kyle Busch. Again, we were in 4th there for a moment. Something happened with the game glitch. We didn't actually... See, that's about what we did on the front stretch chicane the last time, but unfortunately it said we missed it. Solid set of corners, though, as we do try to run down the 7 of Kyle Busch. We're probably going to catch lap traffic at some point in time in this first stage if we don't get a caution, so we'll have to see how that's going to play out, of course, as well over the course of this race. But we're going to fall quite a ways behind the race leader, Eric Jones, because he has got a fast car in this one. Eric Jones, of course, had a fast car the first 2 road course races we went to on the season. The last one at Watkins Glen, he was our main competitor in that race for a while, him and Alex Bowman. We were able to get the win that day. Again, we won the first 2 road course races of the year. We are running down Kyle Busch slowly but surely. Again, a lot of ground to make up once Harvick and them guys got around us, but we are making it up despite losing ground on the leaders still, but it's nice to see. Hopefully we can get back into the top 5 sooner rather than later. Boyer seemingly stuck behind Kurt Busch right now. Again, very tough track to pass on. You really got to almost kind of hope for a mistake, and you got to capitalize on that mistake of a driver in front of you shows any sign of lost momentum. Again, the car's tight for the most part, trying to get it to turn. And you're seeing that around some of these corners on this racetrack. So I'm not getting penalties for shortcutting the backstretch chicane because I'm staying right on that curb. If I come off of that curb at any point in time, it's going to black flag me for missing the chicane. We are definitely running Kyle Busch down. Honestly, depending on how we run this infield portion of the track this lap, we might catch him by the end of the lap. So far, so good. About as good as we've ran the infield portion of the track here this lap. Again, these first two stages going to fly by. 25 laps each. Oh man, surprised that one wasn't a penalty, but we definitely gained a lot of ground that time on Kyle Busch. Got to be a little bit more careful. Kyle bounces off the curb quite a bit. So did we, and we are catching him to the outside. Not a great position to try and make a pass, but able to stick the corner through turn one somehow, some way. Got around Kyle Busch the tough way that time for 7th. And Matt DiBenedetto has climbed his way to the lead. Boy, he does have a fast car. He was able to run down both Truex and Eric Jones. Remember, DiBenedetto in this race, 20 points back of the cut line. But a win for sure advances him into the round of 12. For any Matt DiBenedetto fans watching this race here today. Clint Boyer's still been trying to pass Kurt Busch, but just has not been able to. We try to close the gap through the chicanes again. A little bump on Boyer. Trying to pay him back for the couple bumps he gave us earlier, but we couldn't capitalize, and we lose ground now to Kurt Busch. And much like with him earlier, the bump and runs just did not work. Try to set him up now through the front stretch chicane. Hopefully beat him back to the gas. Big bounce off that curb. Big run coming. Gonna send it into the next corner to the inside. Couldn't get him there. Trying to do it again. Slight contact. Up to 6th. Now trying to hold Boyer back so we can catch up to Kurt Busch and get back into the top 5 again. Ten seconds off the race lead. Oh man, we got lucky again there. But every time we get lucky like that, it seems like we gain a little ground on the car ahead of us. It might have helped Boyer stay behind. But Clint Boyer definitely putting a lot of pressure on us here to try and hold our position. We are so good through that front stretch chicane though. Oh, well, a little hop off the wall, but the curb kind of sent us up there that time. But we've definitely been able to send it through the front stretch chicane, no problem. Just the back stretch has given us a little bit of issues in this one, but we haven't missed it yet. Which is why we're still in the top 10. And we have closed the gap on Kurt Busch. So the leaders have been in lap traffic for a little bit. We haven't caught our first lap car yet, but I would have to imagine we are going to sooner rather than later. We're almost halfway through stage 1, closing in slightly, about a half a second during the infield portion of the track that time. Trying to back the car down, a little bump off the backstretch chicane. A bump and run. Not the best position to pass a car whatsoever, but we made the pass on Kurt Busch nevertheless, and that moves us into the top 5. Racing aggressive to try and hopefully get to the front and win this opening stage of the race. It is definitely a climb, to say the least. So it's a 109 lap scheduled race for today. So Ryan Preece is going to be the first lap car we're going to catch in this one. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get around these guys as quick as possible, obviously. And I shouldn't... Oh, man. Oh, got lucky again. I don't know how many times they're going to get lucky before they black flag us for missing the backstretch chicane. But, again, we're gaining a lot of time because of it. I really want to race these guys clean, but if we're going to want a shot to win this stage, we've got to go for every opportunity given. Harvick now held right behind. Ryan Truex a little loose off the curbing again. Trying to beat him into turn 1 to the inside. Still stuck behind Truex, and now he's going to get around him. We kind of missed up the exit of the corner. Still side by side with Harvick for 4th. Nice clean pass that time. That'll move us up to 4th. Not far behind Truex and Eric Jones. You can see him up ahead here. Pretty equal in the longer runs with these guys. Just a matter of trying to get through this heavy lap traffic around this racetrack. As you see, Truex is held right behind BJ McLeod pretty heavily right now. And we're going to go to the outside around the oval turns 1 and 2. Got to clear McLeod, got to clear Truex, and we're up to 3rd. Only about 3.5 seconds off the race lead of DiBenedetto. There we go. Got through the corner nice and easy there. We had a gap back to Truex behind us. He's still behind McLeod. Eric Jones being held up, as well as DiBenedetto up there. Big run off of the front stretch chicane to the inside for 2nd on Eric Jones. Oh, everybody checking up into turn 1. But we do complete the pass nevertheless. DiBenedetto's starting to get away slightly. But our share of winning the stage is definitely there. There we go. No more lap cars in between us and the race leader, but DiBenedetto's got quite a while before he catches another lap car. We're about 3 seconds off the race lead. PlayStation Sports Network, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Oh, we might have missed it this time. Oh, no. Hard into the wall. Backstretch chicane. I knew we weren't going to break in time there. Heavy damage now to the front of the car, but we stay green. first major mistake we've made all day. We only lost one spot, but we lost a lot of time. And now the handling of the car is pretty much gone. It's braked way too late. Not far behind Eric Jones, though. Might be able to get second back here if we can hang on to it. But yeah, we're probably going to have a problem with a potential overheating issue. But we've got to stay out of the pits here. We want a shot not only to win the stage, but we only have 11 laps to go. I'm running with the controller in this race today. Yeah, I just missed the backstretch chicane bad that last lap. It's like we're gonna hit it this time. But man, the curves are just so violent here more than any other road course in this game. Benedetto caught behind a couple lap cars again. We don't have any smoke coming out of the car, but we do have a potential for overheating at this point in the run as we just try to hold on to it. Eric Jones not really pulling away from us though either, despite all the damage we've got on our car. Got to give us credit. Hanging in there with the damaged front end. Problem is, Benedetto is really pulling away from us. He's about 7 seconds ahead now. If it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch Benedetto to win the stage, I'm going to pit just before the end of the stage because we should be able to hold on to the lead lap depending on how much damage we actually do have to fix. Oh, really sideways that time. Able to hold on, though. Surprisingly enough, we're actually burning the right side tires out more than the left sides around this road course. Of course, there are just as many left-handed turns as right-handed turns. One of the unique things about the Charlotte Roval. So that's probably the case. Again, tires will easily make it to the end of the stage, but we might have to short pit. We are catching Benedetto, though, slightly. Actually, quite a bit. He's only 3 seconds ahead of us now. So we try to get around Eric Jones for second. Can't quite power through that time. But this is our chance. Benedetto caught in very heavy lap traffic. Not going to be able to make a pass there. Jones is trying to get around Austin Dillon. Oh, 3 wide as we take him through that corner. What a move to get around Austin Dillon, but the problem was we couldn't get around Eric Jones. How did we do that through the backstretch chicane? Trying to waste as little time as possible. Now trying to get by the 20 of Eric Jones. Can we get him into turn 1? He's got more acceleration than we do. Very tight into that hairpin-like corner. Couldn't get him that time. Now into turn number 3. And turn 4. Lap cars are being approached and we're up to second. Benedetto is getting through these backmarker cars pretty easily, and now Jones trying to fight back. A little contact. And again, heavy lap traffic up ahead. Benedetto's already gotten through it all. Now it's our turn. Ooh, just able to squeeze under Castle. Probably going to get stuck behind Matt Tift and Ricky Stenhouse. Little bounce off the curb. Tipped also hit the curb, though. We're going to get under him. Ooh, little contact again. Pushing off the exit of the chicane. But again, DiBenedetto pulls away with a lot less damage that he's got on his cars. We send it now on Stenhouse into the front stretch chicane, bouncing off the curbs. And why does it give us a penalty? I mean, isn't that the reason why there's a wall there? That's the second time it's done that. I mean, it's bad enough that you have to hit the wall. I don't understand why it gives you a penalty. Because there's not an actual wall on this racetrack there. I think they have the wall there to keep you on the track, which defeats the purpose of missing the chicane, because you can't miss it without hitting the wall. We drop a couple more spots in the process of all that. Eric Jones is actually back to third, and Harvick passed him for second. DiBenedetto way ahead of us again. Now we're about 11.5 seconds back. So we've never gotten penalized for missing the backstretch chicane, but we did miss it to the point where we ended up in the wall. Big run that time, squeezed into the outside of Landon Castle. Not a lot of room, but we made it happen clean. We might be able to get back to second here shortly. If DiBenedetto catches enough lap traffic, maybe we still do have a shot after all. Deep dive on Eric Jones and Harvick that time. We'll try to get him again. Lap carve, Stenhouse in the way. And we're going to stay along Ricky. What a great maneuver to go from fourth to second in one corner. But DiBenedetto about 13 seconds ahead of us. I'm just hoping he hits a lot of lap traffic, but unfortunately it only looks like he's got two more cars that are even remotely ahead of him, and he's got a while before he catches them. Out braking Tiff there to get back around him. Oh man, really tight again. Five laps to go now in stage one. Again, you can see the heavy lap traffic on the oval portion of the racetrack just coming into NASCAR turns 1 and 2, but DiBenedetto is not going to catch those guys by the end of this stage. But again, he does have a couple more cars ahead of him that he is getting slown up by slightly. We're 11.5 seconds back now. We were 13.5 back. Really don't want to give up, but if we get to about 3 laps to go and it doesn't look like we're going to have a shot to win the stage, we're going to short pit so we can stay out at the stage break. Pit road closes with 2 laps to go. I know it doesn't black flag you in this game, but we're still going to try to obey the rules as much as we can. Obviously, we've got a couple more lap cars we've got to deal with. We got a 3-second advantage on Kevin Harvick, and now DiBenedetto is only about 9.5 seconds ahead. We're coming to 4 laps to go this time. Sorry if I'm not able to look at the chat and answer questions as much here in this race. I've obviously got my hands full here with road course racing as it is, especially with our damaged car to this point in the event. Just trying to keep digging. We are running down DiBenedetto slowly but surely, but we're probably going to need some lap traffic to help us out just a little bit more. Pushing the car as hard as we can right now. That's why you're seeing us come off. DiBenedetto, though, came in minus 20. If he can get a stage win in stage 1 here, that would be awesome. He's definitely got the best car in the field today. Now about 10 seconds ahead again. Trying to outbrake Jimmy Johnson into the backstretch chicane. Risky. Barely made it work, though. Ten and a half seconds back, now 11 seconds back. We're going to hit pit road this time. Speed limit is 45 miles an hour. Again, we are going to repair damage. We're going to short pit before the end of the stage. We're not racing for stage points, just strictly racing to try and win the stage, to get a playoff point or two going into the next round. So if we can't win a stage, might as well short pit, give us track position to start the next stage. Now, we've got damage to repair. We're going to put 4 tires on the car. Whatever happens, we have to stay on the lead lap. If we fall a lap down, the strategy is going to fail. So here is the damage repair, the longest portion of the pit stop. It's going to be over a 30-second stop. Just got to stay out in front of the race leader, Matt DiBenedetto, and it looks like we will easily. Matty D coming to 2 laps to go this time. A little contact there with Ryan Truex. Got to be careful. We can coast it. Might as well coast it, save our fuel and tires as much as we can for the last couple laps of the stage. We just got to wait for the top 10 to cross the line, but we should be able to stay on the lead lap easily on DiBenedetto by coasting it. So we're going to save our tires, save as much fuel as possible, even though we can obviously make it on fuel to the end of the stage, because these leaders are going to have a couple lap fresher tires on the restart. But I think this is a good strategy. It didn't look like we were going to catch DiBenedetto. We pretty much had second place locked in, but yeah, DiBenedetto is going to be tough to beat. Of course, we had to beat him at Sonoma earlier this season, where he almost got the win there. No need to have to really rush and gain some positions here at the end of the stage. It's going to be a tough race to win. Remember, we're undefeated in the playoffs, 2-0. The white flag is in the air, 1 lap to go. Or sorry, no, 2 to go. DiBenedetto's coming to the white flag is what I meant to say. So Matt DiBenedetto is going to come take the white flag this time by. He's about 65 seconds ahead of us. Short pitting though, not a bad idea there. Again, just coasting it. Trying to save gas. Save our tires. As long as we stay on the lead lap by the end of this lap. Once DiBenedetto comes to the line, he's going to win the stage this time. DiBenedetto just going into oval turns 1 and 2. So we have now reached our final lap. Coming off of the front stretch chicane, Matt DiBenedetto will win stage 1 here at the Charlotte Roval. We're going to end up 21st at the end of the opening stage of the race. We still got to wait for the top 10 to cross the line, but we're just going to back completely out of the throttle now. Yeah, controller's less smooth than the steering wheel, but trust me, this is a tough road course to run with the steering wheel. I have ran it before when we did our Xfinity Series race on our Xfinity Series season. For the full race live stream, I did run with the steering wheel on this racetrack. So we're the last driver to finish on the lead lap. William Byron will get the free pass. He lost a lot of spots from the start of the race. So he'll get the free pass here. Parker Kligerman 13th. Having a great run so far. Eric Almirola having a tough day. Remember, he's one of the playoff drivers. And he's sitting 32nd currently in this race. So that was the end of stage 1. We're going to stay out of the pits. Get the track position. That was why we short pitted at the end of the last stage to repair the damage as well. We're going to have a couple lap older tires, but here we go. Green flag is in the air. Stage 2 underway in the Charlotte Roval. We got 22 scheduled laps of green flag racing as Harvick and DiBenedetto side by side for second. You can see how much they're slowing each other down. This is our best time to try and pull away while they race side by side with one another. Double digits now. We got 10 people watching. Again, thanks for all of you tuning in for this full race live stream on the channel at the Charlotte Roval. DiBenedetto quickly able to get to second, and again, he's got the fastest car in the field, even on the long run. We're going to have to try and hold him back as much as we can, but we just got to make sure that we hit our marks, especially on this backstretch chicane, as we did right there. So when we come to the line this time, we're going to lead our first lap under green in this race due to pit strategy. And it will come in stage number 2. And it will come on lap 30. Took a while from the 13th starting spot, but we got it done nevertheless. We just try to maintain our lead. Of course, again, it's a tough track to pass. If we hit our marks, I think we could still stay in front of DiBenedetto, although Matt DiBenedetto had caught and passed Eric Jones and Truex back in the last stage without even having to deal with lap traffic. Oh, wow, really loose that time. Able to keep control of it, though. Might have allowed DiBenedetto to gain a couple tenths, though. Harvick settled in third. Again, Boyer's got a fast car, too. He's currently in fourth. It's going to be a matter of who can get through the lap traffic better in stage 2. I think we're able to at least maintain a pretty decent sized gap. If we can keep this 2.5 lead, that would be awesome. And you got to say, if we are able to win this stage because of the pit strategy we took to get in front of DiBenedetto to start the stage and control the pace on the restart, get out to a quick couple second lead real quick at the start of the stage, this pit strategy will have worked out for us. Coming in hot. Barely got the car wound up in time. I think having somewhat fresher tires definitely helped us slow the car down. It's all about the timing on when to brake going into that backstretch chicane. That is for sure. Gotta say, if we have the track position I trust myself on these road course races that we can get it done. So we try to go 3 for 3 on the road courses this season. So far, so good. So Benedetto needs all the points he can get, so you can bet he's going to try to challenge hard to win this stage. Came in minus 20 on the cut line. We have a lot of drivers scrambling at the bubble. Almost too many to keep track of in this race, but we can keep track of Benedetto having a great solid day so far, but he might have to win still. Bubble drivers are running. He had 3 drivers ahead of him before the cut line because he was last of the 16 coming into this race. And then obviously he's got some guys that are on the bubble just above the cut line. I know Kyle Busch was only plus 7 coming into this race. We had 3 guys that were plus 10 or less coming in. And I know Eric Almirola was on the bubble and he was on the outside looking in, so him running 32nd right now, if he finishes anywhere outside the top 20, I guarantee he's not going to make it to the next round. So one driver has DNF'd in this race. I'm not sure exactly who that is. Still got at least a little ways before we catch lap traffic here in stage 2. And again, that'll be the real determining factor of how we're going to run this thing. Well, as usual, I promise you guys different camera angles throughout the course of the race. Although this is going to be extremely difficult, we'll alternate through the cameras here for the next dozen laps. For the first time here today, as we just got to worry about hitting our marks consistently. Keeping our ground for the most part, though, on Matt Benedetto, so that's nice to see. Diamond Jeff, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. You just see how much these curbs just bounce you around. So we are taking this look on the in-car cam. Benedetto got through that real well because he definitely closed the gap quite a bit. We had about a 2-second lead on him. Oh man, it's getting really tough to try and get this car to turn. Quite a big hop there coming out of turn 1 as well. But this infield portion of the track is actually pretty bumpy, believe it or not. That surprised most drivers in the inaugural Roval race a couple of years ago. One of the big emphasis points were the amazing elevation changes and just how bumpy this surface is in the infield here at Charlotte. Benedetto has now closed the gap just a couple car lengths behind us. Not quite in the lap traffic yet. Got to hold him back as much as we can. Did a great job hitting our marks that time. Through the backstretch chicane. Again, we still got a ways to go before we catch lap traffic. So we got to keep Benedetto behind us if we want any sort of shot of trying to win the stage. He's got about 4 lap pressure tires. Really loose, getting through the front stretch chicane. Big hop off the curb. Look at how sideways the car got. Very violent. So was that bump coming out of turn 1 again. But somehow not only able to keep control, but able to hold on to the lead in the process of all this. But DiBenedetto is definitely there. Caution. Caution is out for the first time here today for incident. Looks like Denny Hamlin's going to hit pit road. Not sure if that's scheduled or not. And Daniel Hemrick will get the free pass in 23rd now. Ryan Truex is the lone driver out of the race. So here we go. Again, gonna try to hold on to it. Green flag back in the air. Into the Tums Heartburn turn. Here comes Clint Bowyer to the inside. Clint Bowyer about snuck in and went from third to first in the first corner as now DiBenedetto tries to power past him on the outside. But no, Clint Bowyer clears him, and just like that, Bowyer's up to second. Maybe he could still win in the stage. Now we're definitely not going to catch lap traffic here. So it is key to try and stay in front of these guys as long as possible. Got to continue to hit our marks as we did through the infield portion of the track once again. Gonna outbrake the guys behind us. No shot for them to make a move, and now we beat them back to the accelerator, at least to Benedetto. Bowyer is still hanging around with us for now. Big bounce off the curb again, trying to block him off the exit of the front stretch chicane. And now here comes Bowyer off of turn 1. He got a great dive to the bottom. Trying to keep alongside of him, not letting him get to the lead. And here comes DiBenedetto now, right behind us. Clean racing, but very, very tough at that as we're able to block Bowyer off. Oh, Bowyer gives us a shot from behind. Tried a little bump. We're able to keep control of it for now. Clint Bowyer tried the old-fashioned bump and run on us like he did on the very beginning of the race, but that time it did not work. You can see we got a little bit of rear bumper damage on the car now. Might make the handling just a little bit looser. Oh, off the curbs. Still just trying to hold on to it. Bowyer almost got around us that time, as DiBenedetto's looking to make some passes on him as well. Having a handful with the race car. Top 4 all under a blanket into the front stretch chicane. Taking it easy, trying to get through there. Beat these guys back to the accelerator. And now they're, oh man, I thought they were 3 wide. Harvick takes the move to the inside of DiBenedetto now behind us. And Harvick will move up to 3rd. DiBenedetto losing valuable points. He basically had 2nd at least locked up in the bag before that caution came out earlier in the stage. Bowyer taking a peek again. Bowyer definitely has a fast car. Oh, we got through there really well. We're able to gap Clint Boyer that time through the backstretch chicane. You don't see that often out of us in this race today. We are going to have to fight to win this opening stage. So Benedetto being back in traffic is helping us out quite a bit too. And Chris Buescher into the top 5 now. Buescher running in 5th as a non-playoff driver as we made a mistake out of the front stretch chicane. So we got into the wall. Being here live in person for the race last year, it was amazing how close to the wall that they were getting, both off the exit of the infield portion of the track and off the exit of the front stretch chicane. How nobody hit the wall consistently lap after shooting off of the curb. It was just amazing to watch. Going a little wide, still able to hold in front of Boyer for now. Definitely been an intense battle for the lead, to say the least. Another big hop off the curb. Boyer is there, side by side for the lead off the backstretch chicane. Just able to stay in front of him. We've got the bumper out ahead, but we are not cleared. Now we clear him right before we have to start braking into the front stretch chicane. But boy, that was close. Boyer almost got around us, and now we actually pulled him a little bit again. Eight laps to go in stage number 2. If we lose the lead, it's going to be tough to get right back around him. As you can see, Boyer having a tough time himself. Harvick still in 3rd, DiBenedetto still in 4th. And like I said earlier, Buescher has been in the top 5 for a couple laps now in 5th. The only non-playoff driver in the top 5. Boyer came into this race on the bubble as well, knowing DiBenedetto's having a good run. Might be one of the drivers he has to beat. Now that we got a little bit more breathing room from Boyer behind us, it is definitely taking a little bit of pressure off. We're just able to hit our marks again. Of course, if we don't win this race and we get a playoff driver to win, who will be that driver to lock themselves into the next round automatically? Currently have 11 people watching. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in for this full race Charlotte Roval stream on NASCAR Heat 4. As we are getting towards the end of stage number 2. Holding about a second ahead of Boyer. Harvick is slowing up DiBenedetto on back, as they're about 2.5 to 2 seconds off the lead. Six to go. 6 laps left in the stage, just trying to hold on. Again, we're likely not going to catch lap traffic before the end of the stage, with that caution coming out about halfway through the stage. Right front tire, 64% tire wear. We're looking all right. Tires will last to the end of the stage. Of course, when we get down to 30% tire wear on any of the tires here on these road course races, though, it gets extremely out of control. Very difficult to hold on to the handling to the race car. So if we get to that point, of course, you might see Boyer be able to slip on by us because we are going to be way slower than the pace we have been running throughout the course of this day. Big bounce off the curb again. Boyer gets to the back bumper. But very tough area on the track to pass in the chicanes. Most of the track is tough to pass as it is, but definitely not a passing zone there. Best chance is to beat him coming out if you can beat him back to the gas. Boyer trying to close the gap again. Battle for a playoff point. And for Boyer's sake, being on the bubble, he needs every point he can get to perhaps move on into the round of 12. Oh, braking late. Boyer is there. Looking around us, Clint Boyer. What a move. Trying to make the pass. Contact now off the exit of the chicane. Clint Boyer getting desperate, trying to get to the lead with not many laps left. And as we race like this, Harvick is closing the gap. Now only about a second and a half behind us. And again, we're able to hold on for the time being as we gap Boyer now on the front stretch. 4 to go. Got through turn 1 really great that time. Been an intense battle. Harvick, again, he is still closing in on us. Us and Boyer racing hard with each other. Boyer took another peek. Running a little wide because he was able to get under us for a second there. But we're able to hold on in front of him. Back onto the oval. Boyer now going to try the other side. He's going to take away, and now Boyer contact. He shoves us up the track. Boyer into the wall. Trying to get him back. Clint Boyer driving extra aggressively to try and win the stage and get every point he can. Contact was made. Harvick to Benedetto in there. Look at Buescher now in the mix. Coming to 3 to go. As we try to just hold off every little bit we can. Clint Boyer driving aggressively. He must have bounced off the curb or something and hit us, or he was just flat out driving it in as aggressive as he could. He's there and now shoves us again. And DiBenedetto's up to 3rd. He had gotten around Harvick. Now DiBenedetto looking for 2nd on Boyer. We've wasted too much time, and the fastest car in the field today is going for 2nd on Boyer. Number 1 Chase Elliott fan, thanks for joining. Yeah, Boyer is definitely racing us very, very difficult. Caution is out, and that will end the stage prematurely, but we hold on barely. And we didn't have to last the last couple laps under green. So Ryan Blaney wins stage 2 with a premature end with the caution. But I'll take it nevertheless. That was going to be tough to hold on DiBenedetto for those last couple laps. So we're going to hit pit road, 4 fresh tires coming up right now. Going to repair damage. Out onto the track we go. for the third and final stage. Green flag back in the air. We lost 3 spots on pit road. Buescher in the mix as well. Contact 3 wide middle now. Chris Buescher up to second, right behind DiBenedetto, who might get away from us. So the pit strategy worked out for us at the end of stage 1. We were able to win stage 2, get the track position, and now we're in contention now to perhaps win the race, depending on how things go here for the rest of this race. How fast of a car does Buescher have? Can he run down the 95 of DiBenedetto? Us losing 3 spots on pit road definitely didn't help us, but we had to repair that damage that we had pretty much all from Clint Boyer. Trying to outbreak the 37, contact, and around goes Buescher into the front of us. Up to second. We got into the back of Buescher, coming in hot into the backstretch chicane. He was able to make the save, but lost a couple spots as DiBenedetto gets away. .58 laps to go. DiBenedetto with a 3-second lead as we messed up turn 1 there. And Harvick's going to get on by now for second. This is not going to be an easy one to win today, ladies and gentlemen. DiBenedetto needs a solid run like this today. And if he doesn't point his way in, boy, is he going to be close. Scoring 19 stage points, winning stage 1. Second in stage 2, as now we're just racing Kevin Harvick for second at this point. Trying to beat him through the chicane, loose. Somehow able to hold the corner. Wow. And from loose we get to tight in oval turns 3 and 4. We got to try to run Harvick back down again. But boy, the way this race has been so far, it is shaping up to be a wild finish in this cutoff race in the round of 16 in the playoffs. Ooh, sending it on Harvick. Slight contact, trying to get around him the tough way now. On the outside in these corners, and Harvick gives us a push right back. We deserved it. We hit him, he hits us. We're side by side for position. Trying to side draft now as we beat him through the gears. Back to fourth, and we are going to beat him easily before we even get into the backstretch chicane. So we are back to second again. Now trying to run down DiBenedetto, who is the fastest car in the field. It's probably not going to happen until he hits lap traffic, or we get a caution, whatever comes first in this race. Oh, we're coming in hot. Yep, we're not going to get it slowed up. Okay, we got lucky. That's one way to hit the backstretch chicane. Bouncing extremely off the curb. We lost a little bit of time to Benedetto, but at least we missed the penalty again. Oh, what? But now we're down on horsepower. We've got heavy damage to the radiator and the engine after that bounce off the curb. That's unbelievable. How did that happen? That doesn't even make sense. You can see the damage. And it's all from the curb too. I don't understand how that happened. But we're in second. We can't give up. What an unfortunate turn of events here as Harvick's trying to get around us for second. We do not have the horsepower. We just got to sit out and ride it out and hope for a caution because we are nowhere near our pit window to make it to the end yet. It was going to be a one-stop race. Harvick now trying to get around us on the outside. We're able to hold on to second. No, we can't hit pit road here. We're way too late in this race. And we wouldn't be able to make it to the end if we pit now. We lose way too much track position. That's the name of the game here on road courses. I don't know if that's just a glitch or not, because we're actually kind of pulling Harvick. It might just be a glitch with the damage, because we're not overheating or anything of that nature right now either. We are running a little hotter though, about 250, so maybe it is accurate. Luck has not really gone our way in this race today despite winning a stage, but we've been able to keep this car in the top 10 all day despite starting just outside of it. We haven't gotten penalized for missing the backstretch chicane at all today. That was the reason why we finished second in our Xfinity Series race here with the steering wheel, because we missed the backstretch chicane multiple times in that race. So I knew if we were going to have a shot to win today, we couldn't do it. We have not done it. Good to see, though, even with the lack of engine power, that we're still pulling away. The problem is going to lie when we do have to make our pit stop, because it is going to be a lot longer than anybody else's green flag stop. And if we have to pit under caution, we're going to lose too much time there as well. And you almost just kind of wonder if we just have to not repair damage when we hit pit road, because we're going to lose too much time if we do repair the damage. So we're 7 seconds off the race lead. Benedetto's still got at least a little bit before he catches lap traffic, as we're still about a second ahead of Harvick in third, and Kyle Busch is the next closest driver in fourth, 4.5 seconds back of where we're currently at in second. Chris Buescher hanging out in the top 5 still. Clint Boyer nowhere to be found in the top 5 right now. Kurt Busch was up here earlier in the race as well. Had pretty much no signs of him as of late. 51 laps to go. Again, only one caution per incident today, so that's another thing. If we did short pit and get a caution, we'd have to stay out on older tires and get our track position back, but there's no guarantees that we're going to get another caution in this one because we have only had one of them today. Benedetto, again, he's pulling us, but not by a lot. You think the caution was for Kurt? It's not impossible. There are two drivers on pit road out of the race. We know Ryan Truex is one of them. I don't want to look to see exactly who it is because it's like right on the entrance to the front stretch chicane, so I really don't want to miss my cornering. But if you guys can figure that out in the chat, that would be nice. That would be huge playoff implications if Kurt was the caution, though. Not sure exactly how many points to the good he was, but he didn't really get any stage points in this race today, and he had an issue like that. He might miss the next round. So it seems like every now and then Harvick kind of beats us and starts to run us down again, and that's seemingly the case right now. Over the last lap or two, he has caught right back up to our back bumper after we got about a 1.5 second lead on him. Running in hot. Wow, we got lucky. We got lucky getting through there. We were able to pull Harvick a little bit more again, as well as catch up to Benedetto. Ooh. It's a mistake off the front stretch chicane there. Yeah, we're catching up to Benedetto. I think he's in lap traffic now, up ahead. I think he's got his first lap car. We're now only 5 seconds off the lead, so this is going to be the determining factor of the race today. Is going to be the lap traffic, especially if we have long green flag run to the finish here. The lone caution of the race coming out right around 35, lap 35 or so in this one. Obviously been a while since then. About 25 laps or so. Still about 5 seconds off the lead. We're going to get around Ryan Preece easily before we get into the front stretch chicane, so that was about a perfect spot to catch him there. Benedetto caught again, looking to the inside of the next lap car up ahead, now only 3 seconds ahead of us. We are running him down. Remember, we were 8 seconds off the lead. And we got BJ McLeod in our way as we try to get through, kind of clipping some of the cones there. But nevertheless, we're going to get by McLeod. 3 lap cars now just in front of Benedetto, and his lead is cut down to about 2.5 seconds. Benedetto looking to make a pass now into the backstretch chicane, trying to gain a ton of time, breaking a little later there. It's going to work out. Now only a 1.5 seconds off the lead. Oh, man. Excuse me. Jeez. Felt that coming along for a couple laps. Oh, into the back of Reddick. They checked up off the exit of the front stretch chicane now. Reddick kind of holding us off for the moment. DiBenedetto looking to get by Austin Dillon. He will. Another lap car in between the two of us. We have caught DiBenedetto. Looking to the inside of Dillon. Dillon blocking us off. His look at DiBenedetto trying to go to the outside in the corner there on Menard. Didn't work. So we go to the outside of Austin Dillon, but now DiBenedetto will then be on the inside. Contact with Austin Dillon now. And DiBenedetto will try to get away again. Oh, this is going to get tight. Splitting DiBenedetto and... Or sorry, not DiBenedetto. The 21 of Menard. And Austin Dillon there to get on by before the backstretch chicane. That was about as perfectly drawn up as we could have possibly made it. Corey LaJoie is now the next lap car ahead of DiBenedetto. Matt's going to catch him in the front stretch chicane. We're going to run him down a little bit again. So we gained about 3/10 on him that time. 46 laps to go. Locking the brakes into turn one, getting the car to rotate. DiBenedetto, little wheel hop there. And we have caught him now to the inside for the lead all of a sudden. And now he goes to the outside of Corey LaJoie. LaJoie gets loose. 3 wide. As we split Corey LaJoie battling for the lead. With the 95, DiBenedetto might need to win to get into the next round. Can we power past him on the outside? It's going to be tough. He is still there. Contact now with the leaders. And DiBenedetto is able to hold on for now. Trying to outbrake him. Through the backstretch chicane, we close the gap again. We are there. And Harvick is about 4.5 seconds back in third now. DiBenedetto's definitely out a major horsepower advantage here in this one. Big bounce off the curb to the inside into turn one. Now we've got the advantage. Trying to get around him as we try to race clean as well, but we are racing hard at that. Still can't clear the 95 yet. And now clear into turn three. In the infield portion of the track, we're going to retake the lead. Now a little wide off of turn four. DiBenedetto there again. Crossover. Back to the inside. An unbelievable battle. Harvick trying to close the gap from behind. Another lap car, Cody Ware coming up soon. Well, what a battle for the lead that this is. Got another big run on DiBenedetto, looking to his outside. Oh, this is going to get tight. Got to be careful. Not, oh! Cody Ware goes wide. Now to the inside. That held up DiBenedetto. Trying to use the 52 car as a pick. We're going to clear the 95, but Harvick is definitely closing the gap. And now we're going to clear Cody Ware finally. We have not led a lap yet in stage number 3. Harvick has closed the gap to the back of DiBenedetto. And Kyle Busch still about 9.5 to 10 seconds off the lead. In fourth. But now no lap cars in between the top three. Chris Buescher's moved up to fourth now, passing Kyle Busch. Benedetto closes the gap now on the backstretch chicane. He is there again. Top three all within a second of the lead. Benedetto maybe taking a peek. Not anymore. We're approaching a couple more lap cars. We'll alternate through the cameras one final time in this race today. Landon Castle, Ricky Stenhouse, the next two lap cars. Looking to the inside of the double zero. Couldn't get him that time, and Benedetto looks to the outside to try and overtake us for the lead. We're side by side now for the lead. Contact. And Harvick now hits us from behind. Clearing Stenhouse and Landon Castle. Winding it out to a 2.5 lead. We are getting through the lap traffic really, really well right now. And now Joey Gase, Ty Dillon just in front of us. They're putting up a fight. They try not to go another lap down in this race. And Benedetto has caught us again. We cannot get past the two cars in front of us. Benedetto takes a peek to the inside. Trying to get to the outside and now back to the inside into this next corner on Ty Dillon. That could help a little bit. Side draft in the 13 now. Benedetto will probably follow us underneath the 13 of Ty Dillon, and he will. Now we got Joey Gase just in front of us. We're going to catch him in a bad spot, a little bump. It's going to cost us a little time, but we're able to hold on to the lead still. Benedetto finally able to clear Ty Dillon. Tight again with the damage on the front bumper as we are just desperately trying to get around the 66. Contact! Around goes Joey Gase. Off the curbing, no! And it gives us a penalty again. Despite not really missing the front stretch chicane, Benedetto gets away. What a crazy turn of events that was. Unbelievable. We are still in second. But now Harvick is there looking for third. Or sorry, for second from third. Got to clear him right back. Benedetto has about a 7-second lead. That's the third time this game has given us a penalty for missing the front stretch chicane, even though we're not missing it, but we're about to miss the back stretch here. Got lucky again. Here comes Harvick to the inside in oval turns 3 and 4. Benedetto now 8 seconds ahead as me and Harvick battle for second. .40 to go. Absolutely doing our best to try and run down the 95 once again. Got about 15 laps left on our estimated fuel tank. We can run roughly 36 laps on a full tank. We are just trying to hustle it around the track. We have closed the gap now down to 6 seconds off the lead. And less. King Jackson, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream here today. Trying to brake as late as we can into these chicanes while trying to run down Matt DiBenedetto. The lead is now cut down to about 4.5 seconds. Currently 12 people watching. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in for the finish of the Charlotte Roval. Harvick trying to desperately claw back into second right behind us again. Seen a lot of bump and runs by a lot of different drivers over the course of this race today. Almost as if we're short track racing on a road course. How tight these corners are. How hard it is to pass. Track position being so crucial. Five and a half seconds back of the lead again now. Driving it in deep on Johnson. Can't quite get him yet. Into the back of Jimmy. Finally able to get around him. As predicted and as usual here at the Charlotte Roval, it has been a wild and crazy race. DiBenedetto won stage 1. He was minus 20 coming into this race on the cut line to make it to the round of 12. He might need to win to get in. If not, he scored 19 stage points today total. That could possibly help him out even more. We won stage 2. Now just trying to run down DiBenedetto for the race win. About 5 seconds off the lead. Huge hop off the curb that time, but we stuck it. Trying our best to cut into that deficit. "37 laps to go." We're within the pit window, but we're going to try to go as long as we can, or at least as long as these leaders. Try to stay on the same strategy as them to the end of this race. Harvick about 3 seconds back of in third place. Then you got about 10 to 10.5 seconds to Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch. So we desperately try to hold on. Next full race live stream later today. It'll be the next race of the toughest season in NASCAR video game history. We'll go to Dover. And that will be at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time later this evening. Business first here in this Cup Series race, though. On the regular season, trying to catch DiBenedetto. We are now about 3 seconds off the lead. We are running him down immensely right now. DiBenedetto having troubles with the lap traffic. Closest we've seen the lead in a while. You can see he's got that car just in front of him with Kyle Larson. A little loose, accidentally downshifted to first that time. Quickly corrected it to second. I think we're going to pit this time. This car's getting a little out of shape now in the corners with only 24% left on the right front tire. We're going to pit this time. I wanted to last as long as I could with the leaders, but you can see how loose we are, just trying to accelerate out of the backstretch chicane now. So yes, we are going to bring it onto pit road. Speed limit is 45 miles an hour. Got to make sure we don't speed. We did not. Can't repair damage. We've got to save as much time as we can on the track. We are going into the pits with about a 1.5 to 2 second disadvantage on the race leader. So give us 4 fresh tires and hopefully we can make it to the end. Back out onto the racing surface. We fell back to 15th. Again, we were the first driver to hit pit road. Now this is going to give us a tire advantage, though. 4 fresh tires versus the rest of the field. How much time can we gain? As well, we still have to fight through all the lap traffic we did before, but this could give us a huge advantage on the leaders. But then that will only in return give them an advantage for the finish of the race whenever they decide to pit, assuming they go at least a few laps longer than what we did. But if your heart isn't racing now, it will be soon. Because this is going to be a war to the finish. Oh no, off the curb hard again. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. But again, we were able to not miss the backstretch chicane. We have not missed it all day today. The damage you see is just from us flat out hitting the curb hard earlier in this run, or in the race rather. We'll just have to keep an eye on Matt DiBenedetto, see when he's going to hit pit road. See where exactly the strategy is going to differentiate here in this one. Heavy lap traffic coming up very shortly. I'm hoping we don't catch him before we get into the backstretch chicane, but I'm afraid we're probably going to catch him right around the backstretch chicane. Maybe not. Well, we might not. Again, sorry if I can't look at the chat as much in this race. We were trying desperately to catch up to the leaders. Down on horsepower. Ran the backstretch chicane about perfectly that time. Matt DiBenedetto has about a 40-second lead on us, but again, the leaders have to pit yet. And we're just hoping we can make it to the finish on tires. Now we're getting slowed up on the front stretch chicane. A little contact with Ryan Newman. Off the curbing, sending it 3 wide now into the Tums Heartburn turn. Really aggressive there to get around Hamlin and Castle. That'll move us up to 13th. Again, we're on fresh tires, trying to waste little time as possible to the end of this race. Oh man, that was a heavy hit off the curb. Able to stick the corner as best as we possibly could. We are up to 11th after passing Bowman and McMurray this lap. Man, we might be able to move to the top 10 before drivers even pit. That would be awesome. Again, we were roughly 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds off the lead when we had hit pit road. DiBenedetto by far has led the most laps in this race. We have easily led under 10 laps in this race as a whole. Well, no, you know what? We led a lot in stage 2. We probably led just over 10 laps, but still, the point is we have not led a lot. We've been running 2nd to 3rd most of the race. Matt DiBenedetto is the guy to beat. By short pitting just a little bit, how much of an advantage will that give us? Michael McDowell, next driver for position ahead of us. He's trying to pass a lap car of Jimmy Johnson there. He's only about 2 seconds ahead. We are going to run this regular camera the rest of the race today in the final 30 laps as well. We got around Jimmy Johnson pretty easily. Michael McDowell not too far ahead of us. Chase Elliott not too far ahead either, only 2.5 seconds ahead. As you see, he's the next car up there. Ooh boy, looking to the inside. Got a little loose. So we try to get around McDowell, now to his inside again. We're going to beat him back through the shifts and back to the gas. This will move us up to 10th. Gained a lot of time on Elliott through the front stretch chicane. You can see Eric Jones also. He led the opening laps of the race from the pole. And now to the inside of Chase Elliott for 9th. We're going to get him. Somehow stayed off the 36 there. Eric Jones having a tough time with Joey Gase up ahead in the 66. Sending it off the exit of the corner, 3 wide. We haven't seen that a lot today. Trying to get around the 20 of Eric Jones, we will. Hopefully we can clear the 66 by outbraking him. Going into the backstretch chicane, we will easily. And just like that, that'll move Blaney up to 8th. Ooh, trying to get around Ryan Priest. That was a very, very tough place to pass. Going into the front stretch chicane, we made it work. Desperately trying to gain as much ground as possible and hope that it stays green, at least for us to cycle through. Remember, we were 40 seconds back of DiBenedetto on fresh tires. We are now 31.5 seconds back. We have gained a ton of time. Benedetto stays out of the pits at least another lap. They're probably trying to stretch the tank as long as they can. Probably just in case they get a caution so they don't have to make the green flag stop. Our fastest lap of the race is a 1:16.702. Our fastest lap ever here is a 1:16.682. So just a couple hundredths of a second off. We're nowhere near running our fastest time in the race as of right now. But we are still running fast. That was probably back at stage 2 when we had the clean air on the fresh tires at the beginning of the stage, if I had to guess. Clint Boyer, 6 seconds ahead of us. So is Martin Truex Jr. Those are the next 2 drivers for position in 6th and 7th. Really hope we have a decent sized lead. By the time we come out of the pits, because again, that will give DiBenedetto and everybody else fresh tires. It looks like DiBenedetto is hitting pit road this time. So Harvick will regain the lead. DiBenedetto will be the first driver to hit, the second driver really to hit pit road if you exclude me. Harvick going to stay out at least one more lap, so this is the rest of the green flag stops to the end of the race. Trying to beat Kyle Larson into the front stretch chicane. More drivers pitting here. You saw Boyer and Truex on pit road. We'll get on by. We'll easily cycle in front of Matt DiBenedetto. Again, how far ahead of him will we be? He had a big lead on Harvick. So we're about 8.5 seconds ahead of DiBenedetto as he has just come out of the pits. 8.5 to 9 seconds ahead of him. It's going to be a battle of getting through the lap traffic. He is going to have roughly 10 lap fresher tires. And he's got the fastest car in the field as it is already. I guarantee he is going to be coming and charging hard in the late going to this race to try and get the win. Will Harvick pit this time? Still the top 3 ahead of us have to pit. Eric Jones in 5th place behind us has to pit yet 2 of the leaders. Obviously a lot of lap cars still have to hit pit road too, but we're not worried about them. Harvick is on pit road. So Kurt Busch is still in the race. He's actually ahead of Kyle now. And there goes Kurt and Kyle onto pit road. So we'll cycle back in as the race leader once again. DiBenedetto will likely cycle in into 2nd. Eric Jones also on pit road. DiBenedetto has driven up to 2nd, 9.5 seconds off the lead. On 10 lap older tires. How fast will the 95 car be? Again, trying to minimize mistakes. We've done a great job of that pretty much all day today. Seeing that interval get larger and larger is definitely making me more and more confident. But if we get below 30% tire wear on that right front before the end of the race as well, just know it's going to get super loose on us, just like it was at the end of the last tire run. And we had short pit before the halfway mark of the stage, so we will likely see that again before the end of this race. We still have just over 20 laps left. But everybody on the lead lap has already hit pit road. DiBenedetto's closing the gap. He was 10.5 seconds back. He's now only 8.5 to 9 seconds back. Predictions in the comment section down below. Who's going to win this race? Do you think we're going to be able to hold on, or do you think DiBenedetto is going to make a run at us? Still got quite a ways to go on older tires, let me tell you. It's really going to come down to those last 5 to 10 laps, how well we can keep the car under control. So I'm thinking it's going to end up having to come down to. I'm thankful we short pitted in the sense that we were able to get such a big lead coming off the pit road because of it with the fresh tire advantage. It's just a matter on those old tires how we're going to last. And we'll be fine on the older tires for now. Again, it's all going to come down to those final 5 to 10 laps. How bad will the handling of the car be? We pit right towards the edge of that pit window as well. We're only 1 lap to the good on fuel. So it'll definitely get pretty interesting to say the least. Contact with Joey Logano. Tight hairpin corner, that'll cost us a little bit of time. We try to go 3 for 3 on the road courses this season. Once again, if you're enjoying the race today, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button for more daily NASCAR content, such as these full race live streams is probably the biggest part of the channel to this point. We have them on the daily with a live realistic broadcast as you guys are seeing here today. And hit the bell notification, of course, if you haven't already, so you guys never miss an upload. Get around Matt Tip pretty easily. It took a couple corners setting him up, but once we got to him close enough, we were able to pass him pretty easily. Not really worried about anybody else catching us. I'm really only worried about DiBenedetto. Done a good job holding on for now. Oh, braking late. Barely got the car slowed up in time to get through the chicane. Yep, next live stream is at 5 o'clock later today, Eastern Standard Time. Oh boy, oh, there it is again. That's the 4th time. I don't understand why the game does that. That's going to cost us a little bit of time with DiBenedetto. That's been my kryptonite today. I don't know why it penalizes you. I mean, that's the whole point of having the wall there, but... oh well. Just, we gotta deal with it. Nothing we can do about it. Logano, one of the playoff drivers here in 17, trying to hold on. Stay on the lead lap once again. We're going to get around him. We've got a 4 to 4.5 second lead on De Benedetto. He has closed the gap quite a bit. You can see him back there. Only 2 lap cars in between the two of us. Might make it 3 here real soon if we can get by Matt Tifft again. Ooh. Kind of slowed us up a little bit there. Didn't want to run into the back of the 36 car. Looking to the outside. Gonna have to outbrake him into the front stretch chicane. Slight contact. Got the car a little loose on the entrance there. But we were able to get on by. Ooh. Trust me, the car is still pretty tight for the most part in the corners with the damage. The unnecessary damage to the car and the unnecessary front stretch chicane misses, even though we can't technically miss it with the wall there, but through all that, we're still leading. And luckily, we have had this stream in its entirety here today, and hopefully we have the same later today at Dover as well. No issues so far, like we have had last night, but if we do have issues, of course, we'll just finish the race on another stream, as we have had to do multiple times over the last week. Harvick hasn't gained a ton of time. Remember, he was 17 seconds back. He's still roughly 17 seconds back. It's a race between us and De Benedetto. Matt stuck behind a lap car again. He's now 6 seconds off the lead. Got to go to the outside to get around BJ McLeod. Gonna make it happen. Right front tire down to 53% tire wear. Now 52. Seven and a half second lead again on De Benedetto. Oh man, another big hop off the curb. Seen that a lot today. Benedetto's caught up a second in the last lap and a half again after falling 7.5 seconds behind here once again. Now only 6.5 seconds off the lead. Got a couple more lap cars coming up ahead of us. You really see 3 of them off in the distance. 2 of them are right next to each other though. Does De Benedetto need to win? If that's the case, he's going to be desperately trying even harder than what he already would to try and get into the lead and win this thing. Oh, we got an issue on the front stretch. Somebody is blowing up into turn 1. Oh man, it's Kyle Larson. I thought he was going to end up in the Tums Heartburn turn for a second. Into the wall. This is slowing us up big time. Somehow, no caution. Trying to get to his inside. He's got heavy damage to the front of his car. He might have missed the front stretch chicane because he's got heavy damage. But that costed us a ton of time. Now only about 4 seconds ahead of DiBenedetto. I am very surprised they didn't throw the caution. Ooh, side by side in front of us now. Corey LaJoie. Bubba Wallace, up the curb. That got really loose. That's going to cost us more time. DiBenedetto now within about 3.5 seconds of the lead. Now 3 seconds. Wow, he really nailed that corner. No lap cars in between us currently. Matt DiBenedetto is coming. He got through the Larson situation a lot better than we did. Now stuck behind Corey LaJoie. Cannot get around him. 16 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, to the finish of this race. Oh, LaJoie not letting us go. Now we're finally able to clear him, but the lead is cut down to 1.5 seconds. DiBenedetto has come from about 10.5 seconds off the lead to now just 1.5 seconds back, and now he's caught behind LaJoie. We've got to worry about Bubba Wallace here in a couple laps. Bubba in 16th. Last driver on the lead lap. Back out to about a 3.5 second lead again. How much of a fight will Bubba Wallace put on us? He's going to want to stay on the lead lap in case we get another caution, that is for sure. Wow, we are right on the border of making it on fuel. We might have a fuel mileage race in this one too. We're going to have 15 to go at the line. We are about a half a lap to the good. Tough to save fuel on a road course. And now Bubba Wallace holding us up. Oh, contact. Couldn't get around him that time. Luckily, we got out to about a 6 second lead on DiBenedetto now, but with Bubba Wallace holding us up big time, here we go. Oh, back to the inside again. Trying to just desperately get around him. Sending it. Contact. We're finally going to get around him. DiBenedetto caught up about 2 seconds, but now, oh, Bubba almost crossed us back over. Able to throw the block, so now only 15 drivers on the lead lap. Just less than a 4 second lead. Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon now just in front of us. Oh, Austin Dillon. Low contact with him as we try to get on around. We're gonna get around him. Wow, he got close to getting us a little bump there, but nevertheless we were able to get around, and now Tyler Reddick still holding us up. Here comes DiBenedetto. 3 lap cars now in between us, but he's within 1.5 seconds of the lead. How long will it take for him to get around those 3 lap cars now? Again, just got to make sure we hit our marks. Perfect job doing it on the backstretch chicane. Caution. With 14 to go, caution is out. It looks like we have trouble getting into the front stretch chicane. It's our second caution of the race. And this changes everything. It's going to bunch the field back up, and that's not what I wanted on older tires. We're not going to catch lap traffic again to the end of this race. And we are going to have 10 laps to go when we go green. This is going to be a battle, and this could be a finish for the ages here in the final race of the round of 16 at the Charlotte Roval. 10 laps to go. The green flag is back in the air again. Good jump on the restart. Harvick to Benedetto side by side for the lead, or for second behind us rather, as we try to pull ahead in the lead. Similar situation to the start of stage number 2. Chris Buescher restarted in fourth. He's back there as well. And DiBenedetto has now quickly cleared Kevin Harvick. Can we hold on older tires to the end of this race? And will we stay green to the finish as well? Three drivers have now DNF'd in this one. DiBenedetto pulling away. Chris Buescher up to third. Me and DiBenedetto battle very intensely with each other. Can he catch up as we go wide? Barely able to stay in front of the 95. A huge mistake side by side for the lead. Trying to side draft off one another. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. We're barely able to hold on. Coming to 9 laps to go this time. Another loose maneuver there. Again, we are on very old tires. Just trying to survive to the finish. This might be the toughest race we have had to win yet on this season. Just because the difficulty of trying to hold on. We're tight some corners. We're loose some corners. Blaney trying to get the clean sweep in the round of 16. DiBenedetto looking, peeking to the inside. Buescher in the mix. Harvick is there. Truex in 5th. Bowyer back there in 6th. The top 6 are so close. And you got Kurt Busch too. Top 7 all within a couple seconds of the lead. DiBenedetto's close. Is he going to try it into the backstretch chicane? We're going to outbreak him for now. We got through the backstretch chicane pretty well, but so did DiBenedetto and everybody else behind. At least with the caution, we're going to make it on fuel now to the finish. Now it's just a matter of hoping the tires hold up long enough for me to keep control of the car as we pull DiBenedetto. 8 to go. Things are not looking good for us, though, I got to say. We might need another caution to run less laps or something, because I don't think those right side tires are going to hold up long enough for us to at least hold on to the lead. They're already at 30%, and it gets really bad from here on out. DiBenedetto closes the gap again. We try to do the best we can to just hold on to the lead. Here he comes, peeking to the inside. Can't get there yet. Now looking to the outside. He's blocked off again. Back onto the oval in turns 1 and 2. As we have an accordion line now going into the backstretch chicane. Buescher looking for second to the inside of DiBenedetto. And we almost missed the chicane. We got lucky. We made it through. Harvick now side by side with Buescher for third as he tries to go to the outside. Buescher could not get around DiBenedetto that time. As we try to hold on, 7 laps to go at the line. Loose. trying to survive and hold on, and now an incident into DiBenedetto, and the game cost us again. Unbelievable. That might have been the last chance. It's not like we even missed the chicane either. Again, it just gives us the penalty for hopping over the curb every now and then off the exit of the front stretch chicane. I'm not even sure why. This car is a handful, but now DiBenedetto leads. And I don't think we're going to be able to run him back down unless we get another caution and be aggressive from that point on. Just hoping for a caution before the end of the race to bunch the field back up again. That's about it. Six laps to go at the line. Because under green, I don't think we're going to get another position. But we could certainly move backwards. Look at how loose we were off of turn 4. We're going to be lucky to make it to the end of this race without wrecking. Matt DiBenedetto again with the win will advance himself into the next round, and he might need to have the win. Not sure how he is exactly on points as we just try to hold Eric Jones and the rest of these guys behind us off in case we get a caution. 5 laps to go here at the Charlotte Roval at the line this time. We're just having a tough time just trying to hold on to 7th. Eric Jones and Kyle Busch right behind us. Top 7 just pulling away. They're not going to catch lap traffic before the end of the race either. Just hoping for a caution. Oh, yep, we're probably going to miss it this time. Nope, we got lucky again. We're not really overrunning the corners anymore. We just don't have the grip in the tires to slow the car down without it skating around like it is. And there we go. Couldn't keep control of it finally. It's still going to get worse from this point on. This race went from good to bad so quickly. Man! Back up the track, contact with the 40, into the wall goes Jamie McMurray. Hard into the wall. Is that going to bring out a caution? We got loose. We clipped McMurray. He went into the wall hard off the exit of the infield portion of the track. But it looks like we're going to stay green. 4 laps to go now for Matt DiBenedetto. And honestly, with only 15 drivers on the lead lap, if a caution comes out, I'm just going to pit from this point. Take the 4 fresh tires and just hope for the best. 3 to go now. Race is not over. As we hope and pray that we go to overtime, and now slapping the wall again. Two laps to go at the line this time for DiBenedetto. And honestly, even with that game error with giving us the penalty on the front stretch chicane for a random reason again, I just don't know if we would have been able to hold on these tires anyway. We probably could have had a better finish than 13th, but I don't think we were going to be able to hold on. So we hit the line for 2 to go now. Almost ended up in the wall in the Tums heartburn turn. We need a caution, and it needs to happen quick. DiBenedetto now getting right back onto the oval portion of the track. Turns 1 and 2 over there. Wow. Struggling on tires right now. This is so hard to keep a handle of the race car at this point. Matt DiBenedetto into the front stretch chicane. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. The next flag will end the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. We're in 13th. Bubba Wallace is quite a ways back. He had to get the free pass under that caution. We might as well just coast it to the finish and hang on to 13. Points don't matter for us. We were strictly going for a win, for more playoff points, because we're already locked into the next round. But Matt DiBenedetto, just a few more turns away, about to get into the backstretch chicane. Matt DiBenedetto with the win will find his way in the round of 12. Came into this race 20 points back. Only made the playoffs because he won at Martinsville, because remember, he finished 23rd in the regular season standings. But the win and you're in scenario, getting the win at Martinsville early in the season, luck or not, Matt DiBenedetto now in the front stretch chicane. Matt DiBenedetto will win at the Charlotte Roval and advance himself into the round of 12. Unbelievable. One thing we did not do today, we did not blow the backstretch chicane. But the tires just could not hold up. We're going to bring it home in 13th here today, right where we qualified. But again, Matt DiBenedetto gets the victory. Congratulations to him. 14 drivers finished on the lead lap in this race. As a total, again, Matt DiBenedetto got the win. Chris Buescher finishing second as a non-playoff driver. The only non-playoff driver in the top 5. Another non-playoff driver that finished in the top 10 was Michael McDowell in 9th. He had a pretty solid run as well. So your results as far as the top 10 look like this. DiBenedetto with the win. Chris Buescher 2nd. Martin Truex Jr. 3rd. Kevin Harvick 4th. Kurt Busch 5th. Clint Boyer 6th. Eric Jones 7th. Kyle Busch 8th. McDowell 9th. And Alex Bowman rounds out the top 10. DiBenedetto, of course, got a stage win as well. So that's 6 playoff points he will carry over into the next round. We got the stage win in stage 2 as well in this one. Total time elapsed on the course of the race today, 2 hours and 13 minutes. There we are in 13th. Logano finished 16th there. As we had 3 drivers caution. Daniel Suarez brought out the 2nd caution of the race, and Ryan Truex had an engine failure in the early going of the race as well. So again, we advanced. DiBenedetto advanced as well. Eric Jones, last driver in, finishing 13 points ahead of the cut line. Joey Logano, a rough day, finishing a lap down. He is eliminated. Upset alert in the first round of the playoffs. He was eliminated along with Ryan Newman, Daniel Suarez, and Eric Almirola. Your 12 drivers in the next round of the playoffs. It's going to be Ryan Blaney, Matt DiBenedetto, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Clint Boyer, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones. If Matt DiBenedetto did not win that race, he still would have made it on points. He would have made it by 18 points on Joey Logano. So Matt DiBenedetto came in looking for a good race. He got it. We had the fastest lap of the race, 1 hour, 16 minutes. Or sorry, 1 minute, 16 seconds, .702. DiBenedetto led the most laps today, 58 of the 109 laps led. Only 2 cautions today. And that is going to wrap things up. Again, thanks as always. Hit the subscribe button for more daily NASCAR content, such as full race live streams as you are seeing here. Next full race live stream is going to be later today, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We go to Dover. It will be the next race on the toughest season in NASCAR video game history. I will hope to see you guys then. Hit the bell notification if you have it already so you guys never miss an upload in the future. And hit the like button if you enjoyed today's race or the video in general. Thanks for the support. Thanks for everybody watching. And I will catch you later today.